Shri Parashakti Vidyala CBSE Class 10 Standard Subject Biology.
Good morning, my dear students. Next is sex determinations. In human beings, how many chromosomes are present? That is, there are 46 chromosomes are present in human bodies. That is, the 46 are common in both male and female. 44 is common in both male and female. The last two chromosomes are sex chromosome. Let us study the sex chromosome. A person can have a male sex or a female sex. The process by which the sex of a person is determined is called sex determinations. Genetic is involved in the determination of a sex of a person. This can be explained as follows. The chromosomes which determine the sex of a person are called sex chromosomes. There are two types of sex chromosomes. One is called X chromosome and the other is called Y chromosome. A male, that is man or father, has one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. This means that half the male gamete or half the sperms will have X chromosomes and the other half will have Y chromosomes. If a female has two X chromosomes, this means that all the female gamete called ova will have only X chromosomes. The sex of a child depend on what happens as fertilization. If a sperm carrying X chromosome fertilizes an ovum which carries X chromosomes, then the child born will be a girl. This is because the child will have XX combination of sex chromosomes. If your sperm carry Y chromosome fertilizes an ovum which carries X chromosomes, then the child born will be a boy. Next, evolution and illustration. The term evolution is derived from the Latin word that is evolve, which means to unfold or unroll. It brings about an orderly change from one form to the other, resulting in descendants bring different from ancestors. Evolution may be defined as the gradual changes resulting in the formation of new forms from pre-existing forms over a long period of time. Evolution in case of living organism is called organic evolution or biological evolution. Organic evolution is the constant process of gradual changes occurring in the organisms since the origin of life that has given rise to an enormous variety of complex organisms on the earth. It occurs due to continuous interactions of environment and genes. It is a continuous process and going on in living beings even today. The concept of organic evolution was first given by Charles Darwin in his book entitled The Origin of Species. He described evolution to be descent with modification. The modification or changes in an organism occur due to the accumulation of variations. The variations in an organism may take place either at chromosomal level during reproduction or due to the prevailing environmental conditions during its lifetime. Variations that take place at chromosomal level are called genetic variations. These variations take part in evolution. Certain variations develop during lifetime of an organism and are called acquired variations. They do not take part in evolution. Let us study an illustration to find out case of variations. Imagine a group of 12 red beetles living in bushes with green leaves. They reproduce sexually and generate variations. There are predator crows which feed on these beetles and regulate their population. Let us consider three different situations which can develop in this population of beetles. Next illustration. Situation 1. In this situation, one of the beetle develops green color instead of red due to variations during the course of reproduction. The beetle can pass this color to its progeny. Progeny means first generation. So, all the progenies became green in color. Crows can locate red beetle easily in the green leaves and eat them. but the green petals are difficult to be located on green leaves on the bushes, and so the crows cannot eat them. As a result, green beetles are not eaten, and thus there are more and more green beetles in comparison to the population of red beetle. That is the first situation explanation. What is? That is the appearance of favorable variations. In the first situation, population of green beetles is increased due to the natural selection, which directs the evolution. The natural selection in this case is extracted by the crows. The crows eat red beetles due to the better visibility. In this situation, an improved variations in organisms is brought in, which favors the reproduction and survival of the organisms best situated the surrounding environment, that is the green beetles. The natural selection brings about improved adaptive relations between organisms and their environment by favoring the reproduction and survival of those individuals which are best situated to the environment. The phenomenon wherein the nature selects traits favorable to the species in the environment is called natural selection. Next, second situation, that is in the next situation, a blue colored beetle develops due to the color variation. This blue color beetle produces blue colored progeny, and there is an increase in number. Both blue and red colored beetle are easily located by the crows and eaten regularly. Initially, the number of red beetles was more than blue beetles. What happened next? An elephant stomped on the bushes, and most of the red beetles got killed. Now, most of the survived beetles are blue, which slowly expanded in number of over the period of time. Situation 2 explanation. Appearance of unfavorable variations. In the second situation, there are another color variations in the beetle population. That is, the occurrence of blue colored beetle. These beetle are easily visible in green bushes and thus are eaten by the crows. Here there are no survival advantages due to color variation. Here an accident, stamping by an elephant would have survival benefit to the blue color beetles. This accident vanishes the common characteristics of population. This random and change in the gene frequency of a small population, which may be beneficial or harmful, is called genetic drift. The elimination of genes of certain traits or characters from a small population due to death or migration of members of that population is called genetic drift. Genetic drift occurs in small isolated population, and it may lead to fixing of favorable futures and loss of beneficial futures in a population. Next, third situation. In third situation, the bushes on which beetle feed suffer from a disease, and the amount of leaf material for the beetle is reduced. Consequently, the average weight of beetle decreases due to unavailability of sufficient food. After few years, when the plant disease is eliminated, the beetle further gain weight due to availability of adequate food. Thus, lack of food does not bring any change in the genetic material. That is the third situation explanation. In third situation, an occurrence of a plant disease, the weight of beetle decreases initially due to food scarcity. Decrease in number and weight of beetles due to food scarcity is an acquired trait. Once the bushes became healthy, the average weight of beetles again increases due to surplus food. This involves no genetic change, therefore the character cannot be inherited. Next, acquired and inherited traits. We have studied that in sexually reproducing organisms, the germ cells are made in special reproductive tissue, and these germ cells contain DNA, which stores information which is passed into the next generation. Recall situation 3 in the previous section. Here, the weight of the beetle was reduced due to starvation. This variation does not change in the DNA of germ cells, and thus this trait is not inherited in the next generation. This is also the reason that when plants became healthy and food becomes abundant, the weight of the beetle increases. This situation is not the example of evolution. This is because the change is not inherited over generation in this case. We now know that the change which occur in non-reproductive tissue is not inherited. An individual cannot pass their characters to its progeny. These can called acquired traits. The acquired traits are also called somatic traits due to their restricted influences to somatic cells. A person may learn different skills throughout his life, like singing, dancing, swimming, and painting. He is not born with these traits and cannot pass this trait of his offspring because he has acquired these traits in his lifetime. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் உங்களுக்கு தமிழில் நான் சொல்லிடுறேன். இது என்னென்னா அக்யூர் ட்ரைட்டுக்கும் இன்ஹெரிட்டட் ட்ரைட்டுக்குள்ளே டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் என்னென்னு சொன்னோன்னா, இன்ஹெரிட்டட் ட்ரைட்ஸ் வந்து இந்த ஜெனட்டிக் மெட்டீரியல், அதாவது ஜீன் மரபணுக்கள் வந்து இப்போ வந்து அம்மாவுக்கு வந்து கர்லி ஹேர் இருக்குது, இல்லை பையனுக்கு வந்து பூனைக்கண்ணு இருக்குது அப்படின்னு அம்மாவுக்கு கர்லி ஹேர்னா பிள்ளைக்கு கர்லி ஹேர் இருக்கும், அப்பாவுக்கு பூனைக்கண்ணு சொன்னால் பிள்ளைக்கு பூனை. இந்த ஹெரிடிட்டி கேரக்டர்ஸ் இஸ் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர்ட் ஃப்ரம் த ஜெனட்டிக் மெட்டீரியல் மூலமாக என்ன வருது, மரபணுக்கள் கடத்தப்படுது. இதுதான் ஹெரிடிட்டரி கேரக்டர் ட்ரைட்ஸ்ன்னு சொல்கிறோம். இன்ஹெரிட்டட் ட்ரைட்ஸ். நெக்ஸ்ட்டு அக்யூர் ட்ரைட் என்னன்னு சொல்கிறோன்னா, இப்போ வந்து ஸ்விம்மிங்கோ, சிங்கிங்கோ, டான்ஸிங்கோ, இதெல்லாம் பெயிண்டிங்கோ இது நம்ம அப்பாக்கோ இல்லை அம்மாக்கோ தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா கண்டிப்பாக நமக்கு இப்போ வந்து எங்கள் அப்பாவுக்கு ஸ்விம்மிங் தெரியும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நம்ம போய் கிணத்துல விழுந்தால் நமக்கு தெரியுமா, ஸ்விம் பண்ண முடியுமா? அப்போ அதெல்லாம் வந்து டூரிங் த லைஃப் டைம் ஆஃப் அன் இண்டிவிஜுவல், அவங்களோட லைஃபோட அது முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. அது வந்து கேரக்டரிஸ்டிக்ஸ் வந்து கடத்தப்படாதது அப்படி சொல்கிறோம். அதுதான் வந்து என்ன சொல்கிறோம், நம்ம அக்யூர் ட்ரைட்ஸ்னு சொல்கிறோம். இதான் ரெண்டுக்குள்ள டிஃப்ரென்சியேஷன். டிஸபியர் this means that acquired trait of an organisms cannot be passed into the next generations and disappear with the death of an individuals. Let us take another example. When a group of mice is breed, all the mice in progeny will have traits. Suppose we cut the tails of mice in every generations. For example, இப்போ மைஸோட டெய்லை வந்து நம்ம கட் பண்ணிவிட்டு அது வந்து அது ப்ரீடிங் டைம், அது ரெண்டாவது வந்து ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணும்போது திரும்ப நெக்ஸ்ட் ஜென்ரேஷனில் என்னவாகும், டெய்லோட பிறக்குமா டெய்ல் இல்லாமல் பிறக்குமா, டெய்லோட தான் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா நம்ம தான் கட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அப்படிங்கும்போது இந்த அக்யூர் ட்ரைட்டுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லலாம். நெக்ஸ்ட்டு when a group of mice, that is generation, will we get a generations of a mice without tails? No, we won't. It occurs because removal of mice's tail has no effect on the genes or DNA of the germ cells. So this is not inherited by the progeny. So there are two types of traits, acquired traits and inherited traits. The traits which are developed in the organisms during their lifetime and are not inherited by the next generations are called acquired traits. Next, definition of acquired trait. Next, once again I will say, the traits which are developed in the organisms during their lifetime and are not inherited by the next generation are called acquired traits. Next, the trait which are passed from one generation to the next generation, மரபணுக்கள் கடத்தப்படுது, generation through the DNA, that is the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Inside genetic meaning the gene is present in the germ cells are called inherited trait. Once again, the trait which are passed from one generation to the next generation through DNA in the germ cells are called inherited traits. Examples of inherited traits are rolling and non-rolling of tongue, free and attached earlobes, skin color, eye color, quality of hair, etc. Similarly, height of plant, seed shape, color of flowers, etc. are inherited traits. These triads arise due to any alteration in the DNA that pass on through germ cells in progeny, resulting variations in them. Pure triad of an organisms cannot be passed into the next generations and disappear with the death of an individuals. Let us take another example. When a group of mice is breed, all the mice in progeny will have triads. Suppose we cut the tails of mice in every generations. For example, இப்போ மைஸோட டெய்லை வந்து நம்ம கட் பண்ணிவிட்டு அது வந்து அது ப்ரீடிங் டைம் அது ரெண்டும் வந்து ரீப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணும்போது திரும்ப நெக்ஸ்ட் ஜென்ரேஷனில் என்னவாகும், டெய்லோட பிறக்குமா டெய்ல் இல்லாமல் பிறக்குமா, டெய்லோட தான் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா நம்ம தான் கட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அப்படிங்கும்போது இந்த அக்யூட்ரைடுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லலாம். நெக்ஸ்ட்டு when a group of mice that is generation we get will we get a generations of a mice without tails? No, we won't. It occurs because removal of mice's tail has no effect on the genes or DNA of the germ cells. So this is not inherited by the progeny. So there are two types of triads, acquired triads and inherited triads. The triad which are developed in the organisms during their lifetime and are not inherited by the next generations are called acquired triads. Next, definition of acquired triad. Next, once again I will say, the triads which are developed in the organisms during their lifetime and are not inherited by the next generation are called acquired triads. Next, the triad which are passed from one generation to the next generation. மரபணுக்கள் கடத்தப்படுது generation through the DNA. That is the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Inside genetic material, the gene is present. In the germ cells are called inherited triad. Once again, the triad which are passed from one generation to the next generation through DNA in the germ cells are called inherited triads. Examples of inherited triads are rolling and non-rolling of tongue, free and attached earlobes, skin color, eye color, quality of hair, etc. Similarly, height of plant, seed shape, color of flowers, etc. are inherited triads. These triads arise due to any alteration in the DNA that pass on through germ cells in progeny, resulting variations in them. Next, speciation. A species is a group of similar organisms which are capable of interbreeding and producing fertile offsprings. For example, wheat, rice, mango, neem, dog, cat, human beings, etc. are species. The members of a species can interbreed among themselves but not with the members of other species. The process of formation of new species from already existing species is called speciation. Speciation occurs when a part of the population of a species is reproductively isolated because of a physical barrier such as stresses of water or mountain ranges. These are geographical barriers which are the most common cause of reproductive isolation. So the reproductive isolation is the main checkpoint in speciation. It is a process which prevents the population of two different groups from interbreeding. Next, genetic drift. It is also known as right effect. It also happens in small randomly isolated population. It causes drastic changes in the gene frequencies of a particular population by a chance alone. That is, it causes fixation of certain alleles and the elimination of others. The fixed alleles may or may not have adaptive value. The changes due to genetic drift in gene frequency of a small population is known as sampling error. A new species is produced due to new alleles and different gene pool. Next, homologous and analogous. Homologous organ. The organ which perform different functions in different animals but have same basic structure and embryonic origin are called the homologous organ. That is, what is the meaning? Different function and the same structure ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும், பட் ஆனால் ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக இருக்கும். அதுதான் என்னென்னு சொன்னால் ஹோமோலாகஸ் organ. The homologous organs provide evolutionary evidences in animals. For example, the forelimbs of a frog, a lizard, a bird, and a human have similar basic structure of bones. அந்த போன் எல்லாம் சேமாக இருக்கும், ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும், சேமாக இருக்கும். பட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். தட் இஸ் ஹியூமன் போன்ஸ் இன் அப்பர் ஆர்ம், ரேடியஸ் அண்டு and ulna bones in the forearms, carpals in the wrist, then metacarpals in the palm, and phalanges in digits. But they perform different functions in different organisms. For example, forelimbs of frog help in jumping, forelimbs of lizard help in creeping on walls, forelimbs of birds are modified for flying, and forelimbs of man are modified for grasping and holding things. Thus, homology in the limbs proves that all these animals have evolved from a common ancestral animal which had a basic design of limb. That is, they are evolved from a common ancestor who had pentatactile limbs. The limbs in the ancestors get modified according to the needs of successive generations during the course of evolution. Next, analogous organs. The organs which have different basic structure and origin but have similar appearance and perform similar functions are called analogous organs. For example, wings of insect, birds and bat perform similar function, that is, they are used for flying in the air, but structurally they are very different from each other. That is the opposite. Homologous ஆப்போசிட் ரியாக்ஷன், அதாவது ஹோமோலாகஸ் என்னன்னு சொன்னோன்னா நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி பார்த்துருக்கோம். டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் பட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் வந்து என்னென்னா சேமாக இருக்கும். ஆனால் இதில் வந்து எப்படி ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து அதில் வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக இருந்து ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் சேமாக இருக்குது. இங்கே வந்து ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக இருக்கும், பட் ஆனால் ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து சேமாக இருக்கும். அதுதான் அனலாகஸாக இருக்கேன். Each other. An insect's wing is a fold of membrane supported by a few muscles. The wings of bat or skin folds stretches mainly between elongated fingers. However, the wings of a bird are feathery, covering all along the arm. But all of these are adapted for flying. Plants also have analogous organs. For example, sweet potato and potato stem tendrils of passiflora and leaf tendrils of Pisum sativum, etc. Next, the analogous organs, unlike homologous organs, have different basic structure, indicate of uncommon ancestor. The presence of analogous organ prove that evolution occur in a different way also. This justifies that the organisms with different structures adapt to perform similar functions for survival in adverse environmental conditions. Presence of analogous organs show convergent evolution, that is, different structures modified in a similar way as an adaptation for same functions. Okay, thank you, students.